Hey guys, Alex here from the Nerd Geek Network, and today I am ranking every season of Power Rangers from worst to best. Now, when I say every season, let's go over some things. I am not doing every individual season. For example, I'm ranking all three seasons of the original Mighty Morphin together. I'm also ranking the 2 seasons of Beast Morphers and 2 seasons of Dino Fury together. And then also the ones that are technically second another series, but are more of a second season to the original, like Super Samurai, Dino Supercharge, and Super Ninja Steel will be ranked with just regular Samurai, Dino Charge, and Ninja Steel. So the only exception to that rule is going to be Super Megaforce, which I will be counting separately from Megaforce because it adapts a whole new Sentai, so yes. So without further ado, though, let's get into this. And also, I'm going to make it clear beforehand that there will be some spoilers for each of these seasons. That's unavoidable here. And that there's only one season of the entire show that I don't really like. So if your favorite one is ranked low, it probably doesn't mean I don't like it. So yeah. It means I probably do like it. So let's get into this though, guys. At number 24 is Super Megaforce. Honestly, I hate to say it, but this series is really, really bad. I was actually going to put it above the next season, but the more and more I think about it, this series really has just no redeeming qualities. The acting is terrible. They never acknowledge the very clear pirate theme of their costumes. Like, they never mention it once that they look like pirates. And the legendary battle that they'd been hyping up all season and all of the previous season was incredibly underwhelming and anticlimactic, and ultimately this season was just really bad, and this might be the only time I ever say that the Super Sentai it was adapted from, Gokaiger, is better. So yeah. Anyway though, at number 23 we have Operation Overdrive, which is just an okay season. It had some bright spots, such as the villains Condor, Miratrix, and the Fear Cats, but the two lead villains, Flurious and Moltor, were really boring. Other bright spots included Spencer the Butler, who was a great supporting character, and also Nog, who was hilarious. The plot twist that Mac was an android was also really cool, and the Once a Ranger crossover was my second favorite anniversary special in the franchise, but ultimately the series just lacks. And the theme song was easily the worst in the franchise, along with being the second worst season in the franchise. At number 22 is Megaforce. Now, this season is not great, but it is far better than Super Megaforce. I actually really enjoy some things about it, including the characters of Noah, Emma, and Robo Knight, who I really loved. Megaforce was also my introduction to the franchise, so it's a little nostalgic for me. Now, that being said, the series does have its negatives, such as bad acting, and the main character, Troy, was really one note, and the mentor, Gosei, was kind of just a carbon copy of Zordon, but worse, so yeah, but anyway, though, at 21, we have Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. I don't have much to say about Alien Rangers, other than I found it weird, but in a good way. I enjoyed it. At number 22, we have Power Rangers Turbo. I do enjoy Turbo, but it does have a lot of problems. For example, the first half of the season before the Rangers' power transfer was weak. The decisions it made were weird and a little stupid, especially, oh god, this decision to turn Bulk and Skull into literal monkeys for the first half of the season. That was so stupid. I also did not like Demetria compared to Zordon. There was no logical reason for them to switch to the turbo powers when the greatly powerful Zeo powers had never been destroyed. All that being said, though, I loved the second half of the season and thought it was very cool to see a season where the Rangers lose at the end, leading into the next season. I also thought the characters of Justin and the Phantom Ranger were awesome. At number 19, we have Ninja Storm. I don't have a lot to say about this season, but I will say I think it's pretty good. I never liked Lothar as a villain, and I thought the mentor turning the mentor into a guinea pig was dumb. But ultimately, it was a fun series. I love Cam and Dustin as characters, and I also really love the world building of this series, and the theme song is really cool. Anyway, though, coming in at number 18, we have Power Rangers Samurai. Samurai's a weird one. I really like this season, even though its only really strong aspects are Antonio, Lauren, and some of the other fun moments. It's basically a carbon copy of Shinkenger, which isn't bad, but it does feel kind of strange. The acting in this season might be the worst in the franchise, to be honest, as well. But overall, I really enjoy this season. It's pretty decent overall, but yeah. Anyway, at number 17, we have Ninja Steel. I like Ninja Steel. Not only does it have a great cast of characters, especially Mick, it also has one of my favorite villains in the franchise, Madame Odious. There are some negatives like Victor and Monty who just wanted to be Bulk and Skull but couldn't be, but overall, I really like Ninja Steel. So yeah. At number 16, we have Cosmic Fury, which is the newest season. It's not perfect by any means, but I still really like it. This season brought back great characters such as Mick from Ninja Steel, Heckle from Dino Charge, who they finally made the Dark Ranger, by the way. And biggest of all, though, Billy Cranston, the original Blue Ranger. I loved Amelia being the new Red Ranger and the first mainline female Red Ranger. I also loved Zato's character arc this season. Izzy and Fern's relationship was also well developed this season. I will say there are negatives, though. I'm not a fan of the new suits. I think they are a little too bulky. Like, I'd be okay with more bulky suits in a different Ranger continuity, but not this one. Like, I actually quite like the suits in the 2017 movie, which is an unpopular opinion, but I do. But I think the suits for Cosmic Fury are a little too bulky for this version of Power Rangers, so yeah. I also never liked the fact that they made Ollie a villain for the majority of the season. And I also did not like the new villains they introduced this season, but overall I did really like this season, so yeah. At number 15, we have Lightspeed Rescue. I liked every character in Lightspeed Rescue. They all worked so well together. I also liked the concept of a government-sanctioned Power Rangers team, which this was the first season to do so, I believe. So I won't lie when I say it was kind of boring compared to some seasons, but it was good. My only big negative about this season is that I think the Titanium Ranger should have been in it more, but it's understandable as he was not in Go-Go 5. There was no Titanium Ranger in the Sentai, so overall, I thought Lightspeed Rescue was a good season. At number 14, we have Power Rangers Zeo. I really like Zeo. I thought the Machine Empire were really cool villains, and it was awesome seeing Jason return to the franchise as the Gold Ranger. I also loved the character development for the characters, especially that for Adam. Zeo isn't without its flaws, though. It did have an incredibly anticlimactic ending with Rita and Zed just giving the leaders of the Machine Empire a bomb before driving away. But overall, I enjoy Zeo. Other than that, a climactic ending, but it's a good season, I think. At number 13 is Power Rangers SPD, which is a pretty damn good season. It has a really good story and is my second favorite, and has my second favorite Ranger in the franchise, Sky Tate. His character arc is one of the best in Power Rangers. The only real negative with this season was having Sam, aka the Omega Ranger, as a ball of light whenever he was unmorphed. Overall, though, I thought this was a really good season. At number 12, we have Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which was a truly fantastic season. It was great, a great start to the Hasbro era of Power Rangers, and the only real negative I have with it is that Blaze was already a dick before Evox turned him evil. Other than that, though, I thought this show was great. The character development was amazing, and I loved the reveal that Evox was actually Vengex from Power Rangers RPM. So, yes, overall, I really liked Beast Morphers. At number 11, I have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay. People might come after me for this one not being higher, but I feel it's deserving of the number 11 spot on the list. It's the very first season of Power Rangers ever, and it was definitely a good season. Sure, the acting was sometimes not great, but outside of that, it didn't have that many negatives. The characters were great. I loved the relationships between all of them, and the villains were also fantastic, and Lord Zed is such an icon. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on Mighty Morphin. So, anyway, coming in at number 10, we are in the top 10 seasons now, in my opinion. We have Power Rangers in Space. This season marked the end of the Zordon era of Power Rangers. It was a great conclusion to that storyline. After a weaker season like Turbo, this was a great bounce back for the franchise. Not only were the characters in this show great, but the story was as well. And the two-part finale, Countdown to Destruction, is one of the greatest in the series. Overall, In Space is well deserving of this number 10 spot on the list. At number 9, we have Power Rangers Wild Force, which is a damn good season. There's so much good about it. The main villain, Master Ord, was such a unique antagonist for the franchise. The cast of Rangers was also really good. I loved the characters of Zenaku and Merrick. And the Megazords were some of the coolest of the franchise. Overall, Wild Force is a great season, and I would highly recommend it. At number 8 is Dino Fury. Dino Fury gets some unnecessary hate, but I quite enjoyed it. The cast is my third favorite in the entire franchise, and the villains Void Knight and Void Queen are really good villains with great motives. I love the redemption that Tarek and Void, aka Void Knight, gets, and I also love that the reveal that he's Amelia's dad and that Centaura is her mom. This season, though, also introduced the first openly LGBTQ Ranger, which was great to finally see. That being Izzy, the Green Ranger. And overall, this season was just really good, and it's a season that really got me back into Power Rangers after a while, so yeah. But yeah, so definitely well deserving of the number 8 spot on my list. At number 7 is Lost Galaxy. This was the first season to not follow the cast from the previous season, taking on new powers, and I feel it succeeded in this. Leo the Red Ranger was a fantastic character. I also loved the Star Trek feel to this season. The season also marked the first time a Ranger died on screen in the episode Power of Pink, when Kendrick sacrificed herself to stop the Pink Psycho Ranger. Overall, though, Lost Galaxy is a great season of Power Rangers. So, yeah. At number 6, we have RPM. I absolutely loved the post-apocalyptic future that is RPM. It was a very interesting thing to do with a season. I also quite loved the entire cast of Rangers, especially the half-robot Dylan and the ex-Mafia Ziggy. I also loved the darker tone of this season, landing at the number 6 spot on the list. At number 5 is Dino Thunder. I love Dino Thunder. I thought it was an incredibly cool season. Not only did this season bring back the legendary Tommy Oliver, but he also suited up once more, this time as the Dino Thunder Black Ranger. This season also brought in one of my favorite characters in the franchise, Trent, the White Ranger. This season was truly great. At number 4, we have Mystic Force. Mystic Force, in my opinion, has the most balanced cast of Rangers. Their personalities all complement each other really well. You have Nick, he's the fearless leader, the Red Ranger. You have Maddie, who is very shy and insecure, but also very brave when she needs to be. She's the Blue Ranger. Chip is the Yellow Ranger, and he is incredibly energetic. Vita, the Pink Ranger, is the cool, level-headed character, and Xander, the Green Ranger, is great comedic relief. I also loved the magic theme of this season, which made it very unique. Overall, Mystic Force is truly magical. I regret saying that. That was dumb. But hey. Anyway, number 3 is Power Rangers Time Force. Time Force was such an interesting season of Power Rangers. It had some of the greatest characters in the franchise, including Wes, the Red Ranger, Jen, the Pink Ranger, and Eric, the Quantum Ranger. It also had easily the best villain in the whole franchise, who is Ransik. This villain was super complex and made for such a memorable season, and I fucking loved it. So yeah. Anyway, coming in at number 2 is Power Rangers Dino Charge. I feel like Dino Charge might be the most underrated series in the franchise. I thought it was really cool how it had a team of 10 Rangers, which is easily the biggest team in the franchise, and how well it actually managed to balance all of them. I also quite enjoyed how diverse the team was, especially with Koda the Caveman. Overall, though, Dino Charge was an incredibly fun team of series. It was an incredibly fun season of Power Rangers, and also had the best theme song in the franchise by far. Anyway, though, if you've been keeping track, there's only one season left to cover. You might have realized which it is now, but if not, I'm about to tell you. That season is the number 1 spot, Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Jungle Fury is my absolute favorite season of Power Rangers. This season has some of the coolest characters in the franchise, including the mentor RJ, also known as the Wolf Ranger. You got Jared, who is a conflicted antagonist and later turned hero. My favorite Ranger of all time is also in this season, Casey, the Jungle Fury Red Ranger. I loved the character development in this season from every character. This season had an overall amazing feel to it, and the world building was fantastic. And yeah, though, I loved the season finale, the 2 episodes leading to that finale. Those were great. The final fight between Casey and Jared was awesome when Casey went to try and bring Jared back and succeeded, by the way. And yeah, though, Jungle Fury is by far my favorite season in the franchise, so yes. Anyway, though, that concludes my list of ranking every season of Power Rangers. Did you agree with me? And if not, what's your favorite season of Power Rangers? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.